So if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know I have talked about the screen setting on the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever set terrible screens for Caitlin Clark, and I'm going to prove that today by showing you every single shot Caitlin Clark shot in the last game and pinpoint how bad the screens have been. But just one thing. Videos like this take a lot of time, and I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a like on the video, but only if you end up liking the video. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So Caitlin Clark's first shot was basically a freebie. It was a layup on the right side of the court. Everybody was kind of cleared out on the defensive side of the basketball. So that means nobody was near Caitlin Clark, and she just had an easy lane, easy shot for Caitlin. Now, Caitlin's second shot kind of gets into the point of this video. As you'll see, Caitlin Clark comes off a screen. Aaliyah Boston setting the screen. She hits the three. But let's go back over that play one more time so we can relook at what happened. Aaliyah Boston sets that screen, but she gives in so early that the defender is able to beat her and almost get a good contest to Clark. What Aaliyah Boston should have done was stick the screen. If she knows Caitlin's going to shoot it, she should have held it and let Caitlin shoot the ball and not let go on the screen until after the shot was released. I know Caitlin made the shot, and you might say I'm complaining over nothing, but at the end of the day, it's these things that really affect me and bother me. You'll see it more in the later of this video. The third shot Caitlin shot was basically like the first one. It was an easy lane, and I think the defense just is trash on the Chicago Sky. I haven't seen any other team letting Caitlin Clark get wide open layups like that, so they need to work on that. She got right to the lane, and shout out to her teammates for doing what was necessary to let her get that lane. Now this play is another show of bad screening. Caitlin Clark brings the ball down the court. She comes off to the right, and Nalissa Smith has a prime opportunity to set a hard screen for Caitlin Clark. Guess what? She doesn't set it, and she goes to the three-point line, assuming that Caitlin's going to get her the ball. That makes Caitlin Clark's three-point harder. If Nalissa Smith would have set that screen, when Caitlin Clark would have came off, she would have had a wide open look, or the defense would have came and helped from another place and somebody else would have had a wide open look. Instead, Nalissa Smith bet on herself and bet that Caitlin Clark was going to pass her the ball. Maybe in this situation, it would have been better if Caitlin would have passed the ball, but in this situation, this is a prime time for a prime player to get a good look. So what you should do as a teammate is set the screen. Nalissa Smith was thinking more about herself than thinking about Caitlin Clark, and sure, you might say Caitlin Clark was thinking more about herself than thinking about Nalissa Smith, but one player is the greatest three-point shooter in college history, and the other player is Nalissa Smith. That'll end off the first quarter, and Caitlin Clark only shot 4 shots. And you know what? Caitlin shot 11 shots over the entire game, so it seems like she's not shooting the ball more, and we'll talk about that more as we go on in this video. Now, this is another terrible screen by Nalissa Smith, and I guess the other one wasn't really a screen at all, but this one, I mean, she doesn't even, the screen is so bad that Caitlin Clark literally has to go the opposite way of the screen, because it's like her foot is behind the defender's foot. The screen was so sorry. It's like she was second guessing if she should have set the screen in the first place. I mean, it was just a terrible screen. So Caitlin Clark shoots a contested shot because, you know, I guess she thought for herself that was a good shot. For any other player, it's a terrible shot. But, you know, for Caitlin, she usually makes shots like that. Good shot from Caitlin, but shout out to Nalissa Smith because she went and got the rebound, put it back up anyway. So she made up for her blunder, her mistake, her terrible screen. Now, in this next play, Caitlin Clark has another open lane. Kind of like the first shot and the third shot of the game for her. She just has an open lane. She has to lay up. And shout out to Aaliyah Boston. I don't think it was intentional, but she set a good screen down there. She seemed like she was clueless on that play too, so I won't say that she did it on purpose, but that was a good screen. 2 defenders ran into her back, allowing Caitlin Clark to get around and hit that crafty layup. Now, that was the end of the second quarter, and guess what? Caitlin shot 2 times in the second quarter. 2 times. She shot 4 times in the first quarter, 2 times in the second quarter. I want you to keep that part in mind. First play of the third quarter, Caitlin Clark is playing off ball. She runs around the wing, and what you're going to notice is that there's another opportunity for Nalissa Smith to set a screen, and she does not set it. I don't know what the game plan was, don't know what Size was telling her to do, but she just went into that short corner with the rest of the people. But if Nalissa would have stopped and set that screen, then Caitlin would have had an open look. What also could have happened on that play was Caitlin could have hypothetically taken Aaliyah Boston's screen there instead of shooting the shot, and then you would have had a 1-2 game where she could have hit Aaliyah, or she could have shot maybe a different shot with the big on her. I don't know, but it seems like she was pretty dead set on shooting that shot, and I mean, that's a shot you want her to be able to shoot. She's a shooter, and sometimes shooters want to shoot off ball. Now, I don't mean to pick on Nalissa Smith, but this next play is another terrible screen by Nalissa. It was literally the most ineffective screen ever. I don't know what is happening here. She literally just, like, it's not even a screen. She just, I don't know. But Caitlyn missed a shot because the screen was just so ineffective. I don't know. I'm not trying to pick on Alyssa, but it seems like she's pretty bad at screen setting. This next play I really like. Caitlyn Clark is pushing the tempo off a rebound, and she is going one-on-one. The defense is in shambles. Easy three-point shot. What I really like is when they run and they push the pace. I've talked about it on many videos before. If you know me, you know I have. I like to see Caitlyn Clark and a fast run and gun offense. So it starts with playing defense, and when they play defense and her teammates, not just Caitlyn, her teammates decide that off a stop, they're going to get down to the other side. Good things happen. Easy one-on-ones happen. Now, the next play is actually the same way. They're pushing the pace, and Caitlyn Clark has the defense in scrambles. They're not set yet, and she gets to go one-on-one, easy layup. You love to see it. They're pushing the pace. When they play fast, good things happen. Now, that's the end of Caitlyn's third quarter. She shot 4 shots. So notice the trend. She shoots 4 in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter, 4 in the third quarter. You want to hear something absolutely insane? Caitlyn Clark shoots 1 shot in the fourth quarter, and it's at the 3-minute mark. 3-minute mark. She shoots 1 shot in the entirety of the fourth quarter. It was a good play. She hit the 3-point shot, but at the end of the day, these shots are a lot harder than they have to be. Aaliyah Boston is setting a terrible screen. It is the most ineffective screen. If you're setting a screen and the defender literally is not even bothered by you, she just got around. The screen is just a bad screen in my opinion. I think it was a bad screen. Either way, you got to see all the clips, and as I was stating at the beginning of the video, the team sets terrible screens. That's the theme of this video. They don't set good screens. So if you're wondering why Caitlyn Clark has had her struggle so far in this year, it's not necessarily the defense as much as it's her teammates. They're not getting her open in the way that they should. She's still having great games. She had nearly a 23-point triple-double in their last game against Chicago Sky. But guess what? Caitlyn Clark had terrible screens set for her, and so that is the reason why she wasn't able to score 30, in my opinion. I think if they would have set better screens, she's, for one, going to get more looks, more shots she's going to shoot, because, this video is showing all the shots she does shoot, but the terrible screens, a lot of those terrible screens lead to her not shooting the ball, which is one of the reasons why she might shoot 1 shot in the fourth quarter or might shoot 2 shots in the second quarter. So what needs to happen for this Indiana Fever team is they all need to buckle up for the ride and decide that they're going to get Caitlyn Clark open. And once they decide they're going to get Caitlyn Clark open, things are going to go a lot better for this team. I've talked about it on my channel about the screen setting and how terrible it is. I just showed you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did. And I'm going to be posting a video later on today about the wokeness of the WNBA. So if you want that video, let me know. If you guys let me know in the comment section that you want that video, I'll be sure to post it tonight.